Good news, we have a very productive week ahead. It's a little spicy at the beginning, so let's get into how we can navigate the challenges. We are coming off of the Sun-Uranus conjunction, which should be lighting your world up, right? It's a time where you want to take more magnesium. Make sure you're using your grounding skills. And if you are, you could be getting some amazing ideas that could change your life. Welcome to the Weekly Woo, everybody. So this week, we begin coming off of this Sun-Uranus conjunction. There could be a little spiciness about, right? Sometimes with Uranus, it can create communication difficulties, accidents, surprising information, right? That could change your relationship dynamics. The key is clear, calm communication. Don't respond to emails or texts that trigger you until you've taken some time to breathe. Even better, go out and move, take a walk, go work out, dance it out before you respond to things that have you emotionally charged. These aha moments that you've had over this weekend, by the end of the week, you're really going to have an idea of how you want to articulate them, how you want to use them. This week, we also have a ton of creative energy. We have an harmonious aspect between Venus and Mars. So this is great for our relationships. But again, it's really important that clear, calm communication is what's going to benefit these relationships. That's the key into this juicy energy between Venus and Mars. If you're not communicating with integrity, it's going to be hard to latch on to these really juicy energies and maximize their benefits. We also have energy in the sky where this creativity that I'm talking about, you've had the idea, now the creativity is coming, you're like, how do I? We have really great inspirational aspects. We have Neptune making a wonderful aspect. We have, this Venus-Mars energy is really going to be taking you to a place with creativity where you're not just sitting in the ideas, you're not just sitting in the inspiration, you're going to want to take action on it. And so this week really supports that. Now, there's a couple of massive changes happening in the sky. These changes are going to really intensify two things. One, the communication factors, social media, time speeding up. How many tabs do you have open? How many accounts are you following? How much time do you spend on technology? This is my advice for this. Simplify. Simplify, simplify, simplify. Because when we have too much input, it's very difficult to streamline what we want to output. And this really is a week where you're getting ideas on what you're here to create, what you're here to make, what you're here to do. And if you're inundated by everybody else's content, by all of these different ways where you can get the news, you're less likely to be harnessing these energies to create what you're here to do. So keep the input part of it simple. If you need to go through your social media accounts and let go of it, if you need to create, timers for yourself, that would be excellent this week. Create boundaries around how much input, how much you're taking in, so that you can maximize these creative energies. We have a new moon in a week and a half. So we're still working with what we've already started, right? Next week, in the middle of next week, we have a new moon where you're going to be really initiating things specifically around this idea of networking. And so this week is really about taking this information and getting creative, the information you've been receiving, getting creative on how do you want to articulate it? How do you want to present it? Because when that new moon hits, that's when to go with these new ideas. Saturn is moving into Aries on the 24th. Now, this is for Western tropical astrology. I use everything, but I think this is important because the benefits of Saturn in Aries are huge. And if we all align with this energy, this archetypal energy of Saturn in this fiery, let's get it done, can do sign, I think it's really going to benefit all of us and the collective. Where this energy works and how you can harness it is to get really clear, specific, and simple, and disciplined about your long-term goals. And when I say long-term goals, I'm talking year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Even after your death, what legacy are you leaving? This is what Saturn in Aries is going to help us do. And in the discipline to keep coming back to that goal and asking yourself, okay, I have the impetus, I have that startup energy. Am I following through? This is where Saturn is going to help us. And if you're not following through, you're really going to feel it. So as we lead up to that new moon in a week and a half, where writing down your goals and doing manifestation rituals and mantras and affirmations is really going to work, this is the time to get specific on what are those things going to be, and the simplicity. So when I say, the simplicity of goals, what is it? The first thing you want to ask is, you have this goal. Say it's to start a business and make a certain amount of money within 3 years. How will that make you feel? At the end of that 3 years, when you've made all that money and your business is such a success, what feelings would you have as a person? That's how simple. Just harness those feelings. You would have joy, elation. Maybe you'd feel really in your power. Then you start working with that feeling, that vibration now. If you can hold those vibrations as if what you've wanted in 3 years is already here right now, what you want in 3 years is destined. It has to come to you. That is the law of the universe that we're in. So that's what I mean by keeping it simple. Write down all the goals, but then ask yourself, how will this make me feel? And then you lock in on that feeling and you let the specifics handle themselves. Sometimes when we get out of the way, the universe, God, creator, however you see it, is so much better at the storyline of our achievements than we could ever be. So there's meeting creator halfway here, where you're going to get specific about what you want. You're going to ask yourself, what are those feelings that I would have if I had this? And then you're going to focus on staying in those feelings, creating those feelings now, and let the energetic soup do the rest. And yet, when I say do the rest, it's feeding you this inspiration to keep communicating about these goals, these dreams, these ideas. So your part is going to be continually to check in. How much are you holding that vibration today for that long-term goal in 5-10 years? That's where the discipline comes in, because it's very difficult to maintain a high vibrational state in a world where we're constantly inundated with information that could be quite frustrating, relationship trials and tribulations, trying to keep our wellness on in a world where we're filled with toxins. This is the work, to be disciplined, to keep that vibration high so that what you want has to find you by universal law. So I am going to deeper dive into all of this on patreon.com/thegoodwoo. We're going to get into some cards and go deeper into this. There's going to be more techniques I'm going to share. We're going to talk about the really auspicious days this week. And we're going to talk more about these big changes happening with the big planets moving signs and what that means for all of us. So thank you so much for viewing this. If you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you know whenever these videos are made. If you're watching on Instagram, comment below. What's the vibration you want? What is the feeling you want to have when your goals, all the goals are met, done, and dusted? What is that feeling? What is that vibration? And if we share on these comments, we can help each other, lift each other up, and help each other actually manifest. Thanks so much, you guys. See you over on Patreon.